following is a presentation of MRE UNO, Division 1.
Well, it's Monday morning, folks. It's the start of a new week, but it is the continuation of the round of 32 here for Fairytale February for the 2026 MRE UNO tournament as we begin the first of a trifecta of streams that will be taking place here today. The first of two 4 versus 5 seeds as we begin our journey here today in the Wizard region. It's going to be number 4 seed Diego Yepez taking on number 5 seed Nam. These two are no strangers to each other. They actually faced off against each other back in the 4th tournament of 2025. So we'll have to see between that span and now just exactly how these two may have stayed the same and may have changed as players and how that will affect the style of play between these two combatants during the course of today's action. Both coming into today's matchup here in the round of 32 off of 4-2 victories back in the round of 64. Yepez able to defeat Jenna, Nam able to defeat yours truly. The CPU percentage right down the middle in terms of who they are expecting is going to come out of this one. And of course as well, here in the round of 32, for the first time, instead of the normal best of 7, we are in a best of 9. So we'll have to see if this thing does get dragged out potentially into that final game 9 or not. All the indicators seem to be pointing towards just that. As mentioned, these two squared off against each other back in T4 of 2025. It was a 4-3 victory for Nam, so Yepez looking to get one back. And the road doesn't get any easier. Whoever ends up moving on here into the Sorcerer 16 team because last night Mac Johnson was able to move on against Christian Tago. He waits in the wing, the number 1 seed here in the Wizard region, to see who his next opponent will be. Bear in mind, however, Yepez is a former tournament winner and a former Super League champion, so it might be an interesting matchup there. Nam has been very good, however, as well, so going to be a good matchup there in the Sorcerer 16, regardless of who ends up moving on in this one. That pretty much sets the stage. Not a whole lot to say except the fact that this thing is probably going to be going into the late extra innings of gameplay. As I'm Seth Cole, I'm joined by Tapir. We've got Alex as a referee and our 2 combatants. And Tapir, as stated, it just seems like everything, all the indicators, everything is pointing towards this one going into the deep waters, with these two having faced each other before, but that was in a best of 7. This extra couple of games potentially here, does that favor one over the other, or do we see this thing maybe potentially going clearly to that game 9?
Thank you so much for having me, Seth. I think this one's going the distance, right? Because if you take a look, both Nam and Yepez have been in endurance battles before, right? I recall Nam with Jungle July, with yours truly, taking it all the way down to, I think it was 12 games for that one. So definitely a big one here. Nam knows how to get the job done. Yepez knows how to get the job done today. Both these players going to be bringing their A game, right? They've been here before. They've been in this situation where they're facing a solid opponent, so they'll know exactly what they'll need to do. I think we're going to have a lot of different strategies, a lot of separate maybe skill sets that both players are going to be bringing to the table here. Could be aggressive, passive, ammo heavy, maybe a little dry um, on the cards there. So we'll see what happens here as we get underway, but I think it's going to be a good one.
Certainly is going to be a good way to kick off this Monday here as we take you down to the table and our players. Just a little forewarning for everybody that is watching. The scoreboard did not get swapped over, so we may not actually have an accurate scoreboard reading during the course of this. We'll try and give you live stats of who is up at certain times during the course of this series. But Yepez, I'll start with you. You're coming in there here as the home team, obviously with the highest seed. As I mentioned, you're a former tournament winner, you're a former Super League winner, and advancing here into this round. But you and Nam have faced off against each other before. Do you have any different tricks up your sleeve from 2025 to show to Nam here? And what do you potentially expect on the other side as well? And then I'll also ask you, as Yepez is typing out his answer here, a kind of similar in the question, but you were on the winning side. You ended up taking that crucial Game 7 the last time that you guys faced off against each other. You went the distance in that one. Now here with this best of 9 series, how is that going to affect not only your style of play, but maybe even your strategy here as we end up getting eventually to your home games in 3 and 4, and even if we get up there to 7 and 8 with your home stands? And I believe both players are going to be typing out their answers here. So as they are typing it out, again, as we mentioned, folks, this is the first of 3 streams that you're going to be seeing. Yep, you're fine now. Take your time. This is going to be the first of 3 streams that you're going to be seeing here today. The first of 2 streams that are going to pit a 4 seed versus a 5 seed, as our next one will be coming up at 6 o'clock this evening. Cody Lamas going to be taking on Lane. That's going to be in the night region. We're actually in 3 of the 4 regions here today, as we'll be ending out the evening in the Dream region. That seems appropriate. Nighttime, Dream region. 9 p.m. is when number 2 seed Monkey will be taking on number 7 seed Sam, for a couple of legends going to be duking it out in that one. So some really interesting matchups here as we are fast approaching, waning down this round of 32 and preparing for the 16 combatants that will make their way into that Sorcerer 16, one step closer to maybe taking the first tournament win of 2026. Yepez says, going to play exactly as he's always played. Nam has a career record against me of 2-0, including the Myth Elite 8. Hopes not to get a hat trick of defeats against Nam. And pretty much Nam says the same thing, going to stay the course, doesn't plan to change his strategy because he's beat Yepez twice. Rematches are wild cards and intend to treat this like any other game, twice including myths, and both of them alluding there to that myth Elite 8. So it kind of seems like, Tapir, it doesn't matter what the situation, it doesn't matter what the CPU percentage gives with that 50-50 straight down the middle, just going to stick with what they know and hope that it works out for each one of them.
Hoping what they know works out, but also remembering that they're both locked in, right? They know exactly what they need to do to get the job done, and they're not going to be wavering. They're not going to be crumbling under pressure. It's going to be a very a seriously strategic match, as opposed to one where both players perhaps lean in to the other a little bit. Not so for this one. I think both players are going to be sticking to plan A in more ways than one today, and that will set the stage for the series in general. So I think we're in for a great matchup, and I think we're able to get it started here. So great, really excited to see what unfolds.
Absolutely. This experimentation of this best of 9 here in the early going of the tournament and the Teller 32 has really made things interesting. Let's see what it brings about here today. Yepez, you are the highest seed coming in. You've got that first homestand. You get to set the tone for this best of 9. What are we going for here? Gonna go with 13. This is interesting too because it's been a while since I've called a Yepez match, so I didn't exactly remember where his comfort zone is in terms of card starts. Pretty similar, I think, we're gonna see here between him and Nam, both apparently seeming like that upper tier region here. This one just a little short of that full send, so maybe searching for a little ammo here right out of the get-go with a higher card start.
Possibly. Trying to feel out where the bot is in terms of Lady Luck. As very interesting, we start on Nam's own card, the blue 4, to start things off for this first game. Could be maybe a foreshadowing of potential things to come, I think, as we see a switch into yellow here early, and then another switch from Yepez into the Ridley 5.
Very aggressive light switching out of Yepez in the early going, and that could be for two reasons. That could be potentially trying to feel out, see if there's a weak spot for Nam, maybe try and find a color that he can ice him out in. It could also be for potential fades for later on, but Nam, if that was indeed the first of those two options, may have drawn him back there with that double play and the +2.
Certainly seems like Yepez is getting punished for it as we see another double play. We get the Lara into the Geo Joao combo. And Yepez going back to yellow with the Taco 6.
Ooh,
Another switch now from Nam going into red.
little
We
trip
got the
6
6 meta
there.
here, Seth.
Yep. We'll see Sanford later on tonight at 9 o'clock. Well, look at that little double Sanford there is little little deuce 6 there in Nam's hand. And, oh, little heat check there. Oh! Wow!
Oh, man.
Double,
Undercut.
double heat
Steals it out from
checks.
Yepez.
Man!
Gets it through.
And Nam now
Nam with
down to
the
2.
big advantage here. Certainly playing offense to the next level.
Can Yepez find an answer here? Yes, he was able to find a +2. I believe that was a top deck there. He'll draw off of that as well, but at least maybe for the moment stop Nam from closing out this game 1 quickly.
We'll have to see if Nam takes advantage of that open door. No, but he's got another wild. He's going to go to that blue.
And Yepez iced out in blue as well, so Nam can run here. Now it's all about managing the numbers. Do not give an opening for a light switch.
Yepez certainly in a tricky spot here. He's going to have to find something. He does get that +2 chain in progress as we speak.
Now it's a question of will he cap off the +2? Will he play into it? Yeah, he'll stack with it. And all of a sudden he's
As we
going to
now see a
turn the
+2 in
tides.
every color now. Suddenly Yepez has the lead now. Nam at 8, Yepez at 5. Nam pulls out the Camaro deuce.
Now let's see what Yepez has in store here. A lot of ammunition used during the course of his last 2 plays. Might be running with all numbers, but may have some split ammo. Might have saved a little bit.
Switch to green. Good old Chomik there makes an appearance. See what Yepez does here. What does he do taking that green?
Oh,
He's just going to finish it out.
wow.
Took that fade and ran with it.
So Nam with the light switch, it wouldn't have mattered either way if he kept the yellow or if that light switch into green. Yepez had the answer with both the green and the yellow reverse. Yepez with a few right there. Yeah, I mean that was like literally down to the wire potentially of Nam taking this, and some great plays by Yepez brings it back, and now he will have a 1-game advantage to start off this series. Drew the red +2 and then the blue wild drew the blue +2. Wow. I mean, we
That's
talk
what he
about it all the
needed to
time.
get the
Maybe a little
job
luck on the
done.
top deck.
Definitely got what he needed. Just under 4-minute game time.
Nam says could have done something, but it's early, so a feeler game really. So a long way to go with the best of 9, so won't be much past that for now. So keeping the cards close to the chest. There is Nam. Smart. I mean, as mentioned, these guys, they know each other so well. Don't give away any strategy here. Don't give away any tells. But Yepez going to have that 1-game
Certainly.
advantage here to start, and he's got this next homestand. So obviously no 13 there, Yepez. What are we going for here for your second game? Obviously for now, I'm going to try and draw it back here, but we mentioned about this before, Tapir, when we're in a round of 9, it's not nearly as devastating to lose the first or even really the second game. When you're 0-2 in a best of 9, there's plenty of opportunity to come back. So we're not yet entering into must-win territory for anybody.
Yeah, definitely not. You don't start getting to that point until at least game 7, unless it's a dire situation where you're perhaps 4-0 or 4-1. You certainly have a long way to go, as we already see trip 9s off the top. Look, Seth, it's my card.
Look at that.
It's my card.
And Nam
Now
has
I'm
to draw
drawing
on
on the
it.
card. Yepez switches. No red to be found. Yepez giving Nam the break on yellow. Going over to green, really aggressive on the switches once again.
They were back in game 1 as well, so it's really interesting to see both of them coming out swinging in these first 2 games with those aggressive light switches.
Absolutely. Already Pandora's box being flung wide open not 1 minute into this game.
Nam with a nice trips play there. That's going to even them up at 7 cards each. That kind of, again, negates him having to draw back on the red. Another situation there with Nam having
Knowing
the
that
double numbers.
red perhaps being the danger color at this point. Ditto play on the Mahal 8. Both players kind of, Seth, in a little bit of a lull here. Well, just as I say that, switch to blue. It's going to get Yepez to slow down a little bit. So now I'm now taking an aggressive action.
And
And
Nam
he's
down
going
to
to be able to run
3.
it.
And there's the finish.
He's going to
Wow.
get it done.
Yep. Found the color that Yepez was iced out and able to play the numbers correctly, and then had that double skip to the wild finish to close it out. And just like that, what about less than 7 minutes in, and we're already knotted at one apiece here in this best of nine. Now I'm getting another one back here. Almost, I guess we'll call it plan. I guess it was A point B, I guess we'll call it. Wasn't quite plan A, wasn't quite plan
Yeah.
B. Had to use a little bit of drawing there back in red, but had the cards there, had the ammunition to be able to string a couple of those trips plays together with the reverse skip meta. Obviously, able to find that one color there in blue to ice out Yepez, but you were also iced out in red. So how difficult was it to make sure that it didn't get back to the red color? Oh, Yepez said if he had to use the 5 and then the 8, he would have won. And that's the thing too. We end up talking about, a lot of times hindsight's 2020, that one play different could end up being, the difference maker between a win and a loss, but you just never know. That's a heck of a hand there at the end, though. I mean, look at that. Red reverse, red skip, red. That's a finish right there.
Sure is. Sometimes you have those chains to work out, but you just can't get a connection to said color, and that's what we just saw Yepez there, as he's going to lose this one, making it 1-1. But Seth, what I find even more interesting is Yepez not even having a blue to begin with.
Yeah.
The only blue he had was that 5 at the start, or no, the 9, or was it? Let me scroll back. It was the 9. He only had the one blue 9, and then he was just juiced on everything else.
Yep.
He had absolutely nothing to show for himself on the blues. And so now I'm finding that one color almost, Seth, feels like a needle in a haystack, because you wouldn't expect Yepez to not have anything, and it just so worked out that Nam was able to run it.
It's one of those rare occasions, right, where you end up having a high card start, and you fully expect that, yourself and the opponent are going to have at least something in all four colors, but it sometimes works out that way. And I just looked at this as well,
Yeah,
just kind of looking
absolutely.
back here. To Yepez's credit, not 100% certain that playing the 8 instead of the 5 would have absolutely worked out, because there was a wild on the other side. So potentially we could have seen Nam play a blue wild. But again, we'll never know. We only know what we've seen, and now we're knotted up 1-1 between these two. And now, after that victory and a little bit of momentum, now Nam gets ready for his first homestand. So Nam obviously no 12, but he's going to stay in that upper tier region there. He'll go with 14, just one short of the full cent. And I have a feeling, unless we end up getting late into this game and there's a bit of desperation, the fact that ammunition has not been coming to one or the other here to Pier, I think we're going to be staying up here in the double digits, probably most, if not the entirety of this series.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like both players, that's where they're comfortable at, this upper tier, where they enjoy having lots of options. Already, as I say that, Nam being out of options on the red, but still plenty of time to switch into another color. As we see right there, switch into yellow does Yepez. Now I'm going to be able to go for a break on that with the My Hell 8.
I played against Nam in this round of 64. I'm not 100% certain that he's completely out of red. I think this could be a situation where he's got ammo in red and he doesn't want to use it right out of the gate. So I might be wrong, but based off what I remember facing off against him, that could be something he's doing right now. So I wouldn't 100% say that he's completely iced in red just yet. And now he's going to show ice out in yellow as well. So it's hard to read Nam sometimes.
Definitely, and of course, being his opponent, you have sort of a premier insight into his play style, and of course, saying that just shows that Nam is a man with many faces and many tools at his disposal. One being now drawing on 3 separate colors,
Yeah.
so kind of giving the indication that he's not giving off any tells whatsoever. And it's hard to know exactly what color he's iced on. And we'll just have to take a look. Now I'm now doing the wink onto the Bad Brad Deuce. So that is at least one color that we know he has.
And now he's going to start doing some light
He's
switching
going to
here.
go back to green, definitely. Very aggressive from Nam. Going back, he gave the impression he was out, and then it's like, nope, I got some more, and back into blue. That's the thing. He just keeps like a whack-a-mole. You never know where he's going to show up next.
I like that. I like that analogy.
It does work because this guy, he you just never can tell. He could zig, he could zag. You have no idea. And Yepez is going to be the onus is going to be on him to figure out exactly what read to make of this
Oh,
at any one
Yepez might have
time.
a finish here. Hold
Going
on.
for an incredible run here.
From 6
Yeah,
cards
he's got it.
out. Wow.
There you
How
go.
about that for a
It's going to
sequence
be
to
Yepez
close out?
2-1. He's going to get the advantage here. Massive 6-card run to the finish to close out the game. Now I'm starting with 14 numbers, so in hindsight, it looks to me like light switching was his only option because you just don't have as many options if you want to use ammo like for the reverse skip meta to switch, so you have to rely on number color efficiency. So in hindsight, of course, that was obviously the best play, but Yepez, of course, having enough ammo to seal the deal.
Yeah, some good reads there by Nam. It is fairly obvious to me that I was not winning that game, so kind of I guess we could probably assume that what we saw with those drawbacks, he was trying to find some ammunition to combat what he was fairly certain was on the other side, and then when we saw him start playing with the aggressive light switch, and it's kind of delay the inevitable, I guess. Try and see if we can find a color that was going to maybe force Yepez to use some ammunition and hopefully not have it chained to the finish. But Yepez able to find just that. Yepez, obviously, a great job of being able to pretty much stay with plan A right there. But obviously, we were a little bit perplexed up here trying to figure out the reads of what we saw there for Nam. Were you able to kind of read what was going on there, or were you also having to kind of keep in mind what he was doing, drawing back on 3 different colors there in the early going? And while we wait for Yepez's answer here, obviously a 2-1 advantage right now for Yepez. Assumed what he was doing, still had a good amount of ammo to combat that. So, yeah, I mean, it's happened to all of us, to pair. You end up, even when you end up having something as high as a 14 card start, you can look at it and pretty much say, you know what? This is not a winnable hand. I'm playing defense right from the get-go, and it seems like that was the situation here for Nam. We know Nam's not afraid to draw back. He's drawn back to 25 cards before, but certainly looked like those early draws were a desperation attempt to try and find some ammunition.
Absolutely. I make the analogy to poker, right? If you're playing Texas Hold'em by the river, you kind of have an idea. If you only have 10 high, you're probably not going to win that hand. So best bet is to fold and move on to the next one. So that's what Nam's going to do here. He's just going to pick his battles, and as far as game 4, he's going to look to bounce back and tie up the series.
The river and I do not have a good relationship. I'll just tell you that much. Nonetheless, look at this. Now I'm gonna go full send here on his second homestand, looking to knot this thing back up 2-2. It's been very competitive here in the early going. A lot of rapid light switching, a lot of fast gameplay here already. 3 games into this best of 9, and we are going to start things off with a 9. This in red.
Now I'm going to follow up with this first card, the DJ5. Going up to the 7 now, staying in the odd number region. Now I'm
Again, that's
back to the 5. Doesn't want to let go just yet.
the third time that
Staying in the
so
red for
far
now.
that I've seen Nam have the self ditto, if you will.
He may decide to go for... Nope, he's going to go for a double play. Decided that yellow was good enough. Into the yellow tray. Yellow deuce now from Yepez. Over to blue. So again, with the light switching, very aggressive from both players.
Yes, so far we are into well, I'll say early stages of our fourth game. Both players have split right down the middle for a combined 26 light switches so far, 13 each, and now we'll continue to add to that there with the light switch into red from Yepez.
Just as I say, red 7, red deuce. Here we go with that combo. Crazy premonition today. Stand for 6 from Yepez. And blue 6 from Nam. Switch to blue here.
Continuing to run
Once again,
numbers.
another switch. Both players just seemingly not being comfortable on any color right now.
But a lot of numbers, though. A lot of numbers being played. No drawbacks as of
Quad,
yet here.
quad 6.
Whoa.
Quint.
Oh, gosh.
5x on the 6s.
Ah, we almost ended up having 6 6s. Oh, well.
Dang.
And we're in that red zone already. I mean, depending on what the ammo distribution was, we could see a finish within the next couple seconds. Trips 4.
Look, Seth, it's Macad.
It is your card. Oh, and Nam brings it back
Heat
to
check
blue
from
with the
Nam.
wild.
Certainly going to go see what's testing the waters, see what
Yepez had a
Yepez has. This
fade.
could be a finish from Nam.
And it
He's got it.
is. Wow.
Nam certainly tying the series up 2-2, bringing back a little of that momentum he lost from Game 3, so he is now on the offense. Yepez now is going to have the homestand, however.
Been
We'll
a
see if he
while.
decides to keep it fairly high or maybe drop down a little bit.
It's been a while since I think I can remember calling a 15 card full send plan A. There was not a single drawback from either player in that series right there.
It's become a tale of wow and Yepez kind of
Whew.
having the numbers working out. Unfortunately, he didn't have the ammo to back it up. But and see, Seth, here's another thing, right? If I can take a second, I talk all the time about you take a look at your hand and kind of see if you have a winner or not. If you take a look at that green +2, it's sticking out like a sore thumb,
It
right?
is.
You have absolutely no other green. You have no connection to another +2. It's just sitting there causing trouble. So Yepez looking at that, it sounds like he knew that green +2 was going to be an issue, a thorn in his side, if you will, and it took extra effort to try and work around that.
Tremendous job though with all the numbers being able to find the light switches and everything. But yeah, as you say, there's just no path. There's no chain for the green +2 there. No other +2. No wild. That's a tough situation there, and so was trying to probably run the numbers to try
Definitely.
and find a way to maybe force into a little mini draw city to be able to find something to link that green +2. But boy, I'll tell you what, CPU had it perfectly predicted here in terms of this being right down the middle. We are sitting here 4 games in, knotted 2-2. And now getting ready here for what could potentially be a crucial Game 5 in terms of momentum down the home stretch of this series. Yeah, as Yepez says, been a pretty equal series. That has indeed been the case here. And Yepez got to get his third homestand here now. As I believe, 13 and 14 are off the board for Yepez, and he'll go back to the 12 cards here. No, 12 is allowed. Yep.
even
Oh,
dozen,
wow.
the second one. Oh, look at that. We just got off talking about plus twos.
Yep.
Now the hockey red plus two is going to show its face here to start off game 5. Let's see, does Yepez decide to go for it and give Nam? No, he's going to go with the ghost.
You talked
Give
about
Nam some
the
extra cards.
premonition of that red 7, that red 2. We just got done talking about a +2, and we get a +2 right off the top. They always say that they're listening, but I don't know. It's kind of an uneasy feeling.
Yes, the bot knows. Bot knows.
So now with the aggressive light switch off the start, brings it over to blue. Yepez 1 up with the blue 2. And Yepez gonna bring it back to red.
The red deuce. Over to green. Once again, another switch and an
Ooh.
undercut. See, once again, Nam deciding to swipe the green from Yepez's hands.
Oh my.
Turn it into blue. Yepez doing the same. Quad twos already. Once again, Seth, we and a blue wild just completely blowing this game out of proportion.
I mean,
Neither player being happy on any color at this point.
this has been a straight up slugfest with the back and forth between these two. It seems like just when you think one has got the momentum, the other one's got the answer back. But Yepez iced out in blue. So this could be potentially the
Forced to
turning point.
concede.
No!
Oh,
We may have game 5, our first draw city of the series.
Nam deciding to bring that and forcibly draw. Yepez top decking a 7, or is it a top deck? You never know with these guys.
See if Yepez, yes, that blue 7 will be enough for him to be able to find his way into yellow. Pandora's box now open, 4th color in play.
As we say, 4th color, yellow 4 shows up on the draw pile, discard pile rather. Yepez now, quick check of the table showing Yepez is ahead by 2 at the moment. Now I'm going back to green. I believe that's the Brian 9 right there on top. Yepez is iced there as well. So, Seth, we see now I'm really getting an opportunity to run 2 colors now. He's starting to get, oh, hold on now. Yellow Wild from Yepez is going to have to force Nam into a decision point.
Oh, he found the wraparound, though.
He's going to be down to dose. Great play from Nam.
And Yepez finds a
And
way
Yepez
back to
gets it back.
yellow. What? Oh, my goodness. Good
No, Nam
grief.
gets it anyway.
Oh, my. Okay, this is where I just walk away.
I am-
And now we're gonna go into a draw city here. Unbelievable.
Chat, I have lost to chat.
Answer after answer after
That
answer on
double
both sides.
ditto.
Crazy.
Just whenever you think it's over, the other player says, not so fast.
My goodness.
Alex, our ref, just out of the building, has left the building. I don't think I've seen. It's been a while since I've seen a progression like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever seen it. If I have seen it, it's been a long time too. Alright, so Nam makes the break here. Little top deck with the 5. Yepez will still draw back. Let's see if Nam... Oh! So Nam was holding a little bit of yellow here. Apparently able to still play off the 5. Little check back there by Yepez with the +2. Draws on it, and now Nam will draw as well. Now it's going to be a question of how far are they willing to draw back here? Well, I guess that answers that question. Yepez finds a top deck, and Nam will light switch off of it, so little freedom now here for both, and of course, we're just going to start the light switching all over again here with the trip 6 now into blue.
Because why not? Why wouldn't we do that?
Yeah. Slowly the progression downward from the 6 to the 5 to the 4. That will find a light switch into green now, courtesy of Nam. And oh my goodness. The triple plays in this game have been nuts. Oh, and there's a finish by Nam.
Wow.
That
Once
light
again,
switch into
three
red.
three wilds to end. No, yeah, 3 wilds, 5 bagger to end the game. Once again, another tale of 2 sides of ammo. Nam, of course, being favored here. And just take a look at the wild differential, 9-3 combined
Yeah.
in favor of Nam.
He got draw 4 and draw city, then another draw 4 after the yellow +2. Oh, that just frees up so many options for you there at the end.
Definitely, because now you have so many different routes to the finish. You have essentially all 4 colors at your disposal if need be,
Yep.
because you have a bridge into every single one.
Yeah, just nothing Yepez
So
can do in that
definitely Nam
situation there.
getting, absolutely Nam, I think, getting sort of bailed out, if you will, with the +4s, the bot deciding to give him the win.
So Nam now going to go up 3-2. Didn't have a bad one, but didn't get it on time. Oh,
Oh
yeah,
wow, okay.
that's not bad at
Lots
all.
of,
So he
yeah,
needed
that would be a
what,
2
probably
winner.
what, 2 turns or maybe 1 turn with a power play if he was going to go that route.
Yeah, power play is an option. Uh,
Yeah, pretty
says 1
much
turn?
1 turn?
I don't believe that's 1 turn.
No, because he played the red 4. He would have needed at
You'd have to
least
have
to. Well, I mean, well,
at least to play the.
no, I guess not. I guess if he had played either the red 8 or the red 3, he then could have used the red skips to wrap around, get the blue skip, and end on the red 8 or the red 3. So I guess, yeah, it would have been 1 turn. But
On
that's the
which
thing.
one? Not to.
So if
No,
he
well, I mean, he. But he wouldn't be able to play red 3 and red 8 in the same turn.
no, that's
That's
what
where I'm
that's.
confused.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that the red 3 and then the one would be the next of the turn. Yeah,
It would have to be with a power play.
yeah.
So I guess
Yeah.
1 turn in that regard. Regardless, we are squarely into game number 6, and we're sitting on green, green 1, yellow 1 now, switched from Nam.
So Nam now up three
Sitting at 8
two.
cards each.
Again, both players And we just alluded to it at moments ago, but we really haven't talked a whole lot about it. Now we probably will be talking a lot more about it as we get closer towards the end of this series. That power play going to be huge for both players here. And wait a minute, this could be a finish. He's taking
Hold the
his time,
phone.
making sure he gets every command in. I think we've got a finish right here.
He's going one at a time. He's now down to 4. It's potential for just a chain in one command to finish it off. Is he going to have the
My,
finish? Oh, he's got it.
what in the
What a
world was that?
beautiful
Hold
game.
on. 1, 2,
8
3,
card
4, 5, 6, 7.
finish.
Good grief.
My goodness gracious.
That was off an 11 card
I got
start.
I got nothing.
No.
I got nothing, Seth. That was just one of those that, ammo. Ammo everywhere.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Mac Tago last night. If you want to take a look at that stat result, we were in, for combined totals for each ammo metric, we were in double digits,
Gracious.
including wild plus fours, was last night. This kind of reminds me of a similar set of circumstances. So, yeah, 0, 1, and 9, just get those out of the way and just run to the finish.
Yeah, I mean, the
Didn't even
thing
need
there
a
for
power play
Yepez,
either.
and the thing for Yepez as well was the fact that he's got the +2s and he's got the +4 there. Being able to put them into the sequence, you don't have to worry about what's on the return because the game's over anyway.
Yep, game's all set. Game set match at that point.
Well, we're going to go back to 14
Looks like
again
we're
here with
moving
Nam's
on.
call, knotted at 3. We said it before. It felt like it was going to happen. I'll be shocked if this thing doesn't go into a game 9.
Yeah, it would require one player getting the next 2 games to prevent a game 9. This is effectively a best of 3, Seth. We're already at 3-3. Effective best of 3 now as we get into the last third of the match.
So if you've got the hand and you just need that one missing link in the chain to be filled, do you consider a power play here to go into a 4-3 advantage, or do you think this could be a situation with what we've seen on both sides that both players may also be feeling we may go into that crucial game 9 and they both might be trying to save that power play for the final game?
They might want to lock up the series with a power play as we see Hockey BC combo, 2 UUL stalwarts that have migrated over to D1. Hockey, of course, best wishes to him. I don't know if anyone knows where he's been recently. Squarely into the yellows now. 8-7-1 now, the Brock Uno. Nam's out.
So now Yepez off that big win in game 6. Down 2 cards here. Gonna try and see if he can at least gain possession advantage here. Might be loading up. Taking a little bit of time here. No, just gonna play it cool with the yellow 8, and Nom will find an escape into the green.
It's going to be the third color we've seen in this game. There's Pandora's number 4 on the blue 4. Nam's own card once again. So, cat's out of the bag, Seth. Where do we go from here? We're going back to green, of
Yes, we
course.
are.
Because why not? This
Little
entire series.
little self ditto there from Yepez to bring it back. Seen a little bit of ammo used here in this game. Well, there's a little bit more there. Is Yepez going to use the wild to bring it back over to yellow?
Get getting a little bit tired of green for the time being. Nam having none of it, forcing him back into green
You
by
think you
virtue of
have
a
to?
+4 double
I mean,
play.
Yepez was down to 7. Nam was at
At that point,
6. You're in the red zone. We already saw Nam finish out a game from 8 cards out in the previous bout. So yeah, that +4 there, realizing that that wild was maybe setting up, that yellow wild was maybe setting up something there. That's how you keep the power play still available, but make sure that the other side doesn't have a run to the end. Oh,
there's definitely a lot to keep
wow!
track of. As we see Nam
It worked
with
out.
that triple play, ending on the blue reverse,
Wow.
takes it to 4-3.
Yepez, after before that +4, did you have was that yellow wild to set up something there? Do you have some split ammo for a finish? Oh, he thought Nam was drought on yellow. It was a heat check. So he actually drew out the ammunition on the other side. It's just Nam had some reverse skip meta in reserve.
The thing though, Seth, Yepez made the correct read.
He
Nam
did.
was out on yellow.
Yep.
The problem being, it just so happened that Nam got every answer he needed, Yepez giving him the switches that were necessary. First that blue 5, causing Nam to get rid of his blue 6, and then the red giving him the fatal finish. Although, looks like if Yepez had stayed on blue, it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Yep. It was in
Just
either of
reverse
the
the
two
chain
colors
there.
he
So
needed.
it looks to me like after the switch to blue, Nam had it locked up no matter which way it went. Yeah, you just once again you just kind of have that feeling that Yepez or Nam had it locked up, which he did, and there wasn't really much to be done.
I mean, we mentioned about the fact these two know each other. They faced off against each other a few times, including back towards the end of 2025. The reads have been on point on both sides here, and that's why it's been as competitive as it has.
10 wilds played, absolutely. Just the regular wilds, not counting the +4s. So, just the only, I did mention earlier, the only metric now that is not double digits is the +4s. We're at 6 combined there, but definitely another ammo heavy game, reminiscent of last night's game.
Yeah, really I guess really the skips, the +2s, and the wilds is really the only major differences we've got. I mean, it's incredible how close everything is here. 34 each for color swaps. 42 to 38, so really close in terms of cards drawn. And in terms of cards self-drawn, 16. 16 cards self-drawn. We are into game 8. Normally, in terms of cards self-drawn, we're into a couple of draw cities, and we're talking, probably a combined 70, 60, 70 cards drawn. We're 32 cards self-drawn right now. The fact that these guys have been able to find these paths, these avenues, to be able to keep themselves from going into lengthy draw cities has been incredible.
Absolutely. A matter of fact, we've switched colors more times than we've self drawn, and nearly as many because we've drawn cards ourselves. So, incredible progression, just showing how much Plan A matters in this game. And already we've seen a ditto on Nam's card. We've seen my card played. We're now into red. Both players choosing not to play, or perhaps simply not having red, which would be, Seth, I think, an incredible um, improbability that both players are truly, legitimately out on red.
Oh, Yepez going to use the wild to get over to blue, and there you go. Great read there, Tapir. Was
That,
not
see
out
that?
on red, but used
Just,
that swap over to blue to be able to then utilize that red ammunition in the chain.
just Nam with the reads, right? Feeling out what color was Yepez's weakness and bouncing.
This is Nam's final homestand of the series, currently up 4-3. He's at match point. Both players still still have their power play available. Yepez gonna start a chain
Perhaps
here.
going for another chain here. And you can kind of sense it in the air, Seth. Nam just wants to shut this series down as quick as he can. Does not want to risk going into game 9 with how he knows Yepez is.
Now we've seen Yepez run two different types of chains. We've seen him run the chain where you've got the opportunity with the bot to be able to put a chain together in one command. And we've seen him also do just single typing out each line. Is that potentially, I know obviously from 14 cards out, it's unlikely, but we've seen him have a chain of 8 to finish it out. Is that potentially him maybe putting a little bit of doubt in Nam's mind, maybe try and force out a power play defensively? Or is that just trying to make sure he gets the commands in all correctly?
It could be a little of both. You know, with the way Yepez is, I wouldn't doubt if it's a mind game. Just to try and test the waters to see if Nam is scared enough to pull the trigger. I would not doubt either one.
Oh, Yepez just drew it back even. As soon as he does, he's now going to take the lead here as he'll hit the +4. Ended on the blue 0. Going to be difficult to switch off of that, obviously, but sets Nam back to double digits. Nam going to answer back. He'll negate at least a majority of that +4 with the double skip. Brings it over into yellow. Did Yepez maybe have some split ammo here? Did that +4 set up a finish here with 4 cards out? No, he'll play it cool
Not
there.
quite. Now I'm trying to force Yepez in the corner. We might see a draw here from Yepez.
It
Yep,
worked.
there it is. Called it. I had a feeling he was out on green with that switch, the +4 switch. So great move from Nam to force Yepez into a corner. But now, interesting, he's going to give Yepez the break on yellow.
He might be
He might
hoping
be in a
those 2 cards he
situation where
drew
he's
now.
also running low on green.
It could be a situation too, maybe hoping that those 2 cards that Yepez had to draw there when they were in green aren't going to help him out.
Definitely could be perhaps some blue, red, just things that aren't lining up quite well. Yepez taking a little bit more time than usual. This would be interesting if it's a 5-card run, because then it proves those 2 cards did in fact help.
He's going to take his time
He's got the
here.
1, 2.
Is this a finish? Is this
He's
maybe
down to
check?
3.
What are we going to have here?
Seems like he's really begging for Nam to do something with how slow this
Yeah,
is.
I think that's exactly what it was. He was taking his time, playing it slow, making Nam think. He knew it was going to be a cap off, but he was maybe putting some doubt in the mind of Nam of, do I use the power play here? Yepez going
And
to
it
find
might
himself a
be,
check.
well, he's going to get to check.
Little ditto play.
It might have been Nam saying, nope, you know what? Because don't forget, Nam is still up by 1.
That's
So
it, right?
if he decides to burn the power play, Yepez will have his, and it might be if the power play doesn't work, Yepez might be in a golden opportunity to run these last 2 games and force Nam home. So that could be going through Nam's head as well. Maybe just trying to clutch on to that power play as long as he can, and only playing it if he realizes he's in a decent spot.
Well, Yepez got down to check, could not find the finish, and now we're going to start drawing back here.
While we have a second, I'm just gonna would like to quickly mention we did say, Seth, in the beginning of this series, that the strategy and the games were going to be on another level with these two. So I think it just shows how, as we see a blue 3 from Nam, it just shows how well in tune these two guys are when they're playing against each other.
I think we can easily
You
say,
don't
too,
typically see
regardless of.
this.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh,
Well, all it was is we can clearly see these guys know each other very well. They know when to call the bluff. They know when not to fall for it. It just shows that these guys are most certainly, you know, two to look out for. You know, when they're competing, you know that you're going to have a good match.
And to that end, I think that regardless of which one ends up moving on here to the next round, gonna be a very worthy opponent for the 1 seed here in the Wizard region in Mac Johnson.
Oh, absolutely. Um, these guys, you know, they're here for a reason. Mac is going to have, certainly by any means, a formidable opponent in now the round of 16.
Ooh, now with a heat check here after the swap into green by Yepez. It's going to work, and now Nam. What can he do in red? Currently sitting at 3 cards. Yepez at 3.
Down to the wire here.
Oh, there's the
Power
power
play.
play. He feels the finish is in the air there for Nam. Uses it defensively to stop Nam from taking the series.
Could that be the lifesaver here for Yepez?
One thing I know,
He's got
Nam is
nothing, but he
very
senses
reserved when it comes to his strategy. It won't even be worth asking him if
power
that saved
play.
the series. Well, okay, no, never mind.
Yep,
Answers back.
doesn't matter.
And that's going to be the series. 5-3, and Nam will take down Yepez. Slugfest right to the end. Power play for power play to close this one out.
I gotta ask Nam, what was that draw off the power play? Because I have a feeling it was the yellow too. I have a feeling he saved that ditto for the end. That was his plan A. It was the yellow
It was the
3.
yellow
Okay, so he
3.
just kind of switched course, and yellow 2. In a way, um, that red, he set up that switch from red to yellow, and effectively he got lucky on the draw
He
from
did.
Yepez through that power play, because if it's any other color, he could be very well screwed at this point. We could have seen a game 9. So certainly an indication, right? You have to rely on that luck factor as well, because those power plays, they can be lethal when used correctly, but in this case it didn't matter. So great series from, I know, the ammo distribution had made it seem like this series was maybe worthless, but I think in my mind the strategy made it well worth it.
It definitely did. The light switching, the reads, definitely. Again, we mentioned this a lot. People can look at the statistics after a game and not really know the whole story of just how competitive the matchup actually really was. This really was a back and forth between these two, and we mentioned we knew it was going to get into the deep waters. We knew the power plays were going to definitely be crucial as we got into these final few games. Really, really great series between these two here today. And Nama, I'll ask you here as the winner of the series, you've got the number 1 seed in Mac Johnson coming up here in the Sorcerer 16. He had a 5-3 victory here in the Tower 32. You have a 5-3 victory going in. Your thoughts on getting ready to play him? Well, this is quite a way to set the tone here for today's streamed games. Got another 5 versus 4 seed matchup going to be coming up later on this evening at 6 o'clock. Cody Lamas going to be taking on Lane. And then 9 o'clock this evening, going to be a couple of legends going at it in the Dream region. 2-seed Monkey taking on 7-seed Sanford. So some really competitive matchups going to be finishing out today's festivities here on a Monday. But a great way to set the tone here in this one. A couple of individuals that know each other very well, going toe-to-toe, going the lengths here. Nam says playing Mac will be a rematch from 2024, he believes, but to him, with all the changes that happened since season as a fresh slate, glad to have gotten off this season to a great start. Thanks to Yepez for being a great opponent throughout the series. I mean, we didn't, I don't think, overhype it. The beginning of this series. This was going to be a back and forth. This was going to be a very competitive series. End result showing that it was exactly that. So don't think we could ask for anything more in terms of what we were able to observe and be able to call in this one, Tapir.
Certainly not. It met my expectations 100%. 100%. I knew this was going to be a fun one. We've been calling it for a while, ever since, in matter of fact, your match with Nam, ever since he moved on, seeing as though this matchup was now locked in. I think we knew that it was going to be an exciting one to witness, and it was, in fact, just that. So, well done to both players, I think. There were times that 200 IQ plays were witnessed from both sides, and even though it is Yepez going home, I think this series is not to be put him in a bad light going forward for tournament 2, even though, could be game 8, could be game 9, but it definitely shows he is one not to be messed with going forward.
Yeah, both players playing exceptionally well here today. Nam will now be moving on to the Sorcerer 16. He'll be facing off here in the Wizard region against Mac Johnson once we end up getting to that portion of the bracket. Well, thank you everybody for tuning into our first stream of the day. Congratulations to Nam on winning the series here in our opener. We still have 2 more streams coming up later tonight, one at 6, one at 9 o'clock Eastern, so be sure to join us for that. Thanks once again to Tapir for joining me on commentary, Alex for being our referee. We'll see you guys at 6 o'clock this evening for Cody Lamas versus Lane in the night region as we continue on the Teller 32 round of Fairytale February, the first tournament of 2026 here on the MRE UNO YouTube channel. See you later on tonight, folks.
This has been a presentation of MRE UNO Division 1.